are now plugged into Hooked on Sonics with Roots and Tone Capone.
And we're live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Hooked on Sonics. I am one of your two hosts, Bruce, and as always, everyone's brother from another mother, the Tone Capone. This week, we've got the battle of good and evil. We've got the death metal juggernauts that is Jungle Rot with their self-titled album, Jungle Rot. And then we've got The Darkness, Dreams on Toast. We'll be getting into, kind of what we've been jamming besides these two albums this week. Catching up on some music news that may have come up. Uh, got some beers or whatever drinks we've got to talk about. But before we get into all that, Tony, there was a weird Twitter poll that I found.
Talk
And
about it.
yeah, and it wasn't even like on our page, but it asked, Tony, how are you?
Good evening.
That
I
wasn't
am
one of the selections.
I am well. I mean, the house is a little somber right now.
Yeah.
I've recently, uh, due to some current events around the home, have decided not to share certain aspects of my life with the rest of the world. So I can tell you in general, the house is somber right now. There's a lot going on, and you're kind of aware of all the stuff going on. So
Hmm.
other than that, I'm doing all right. Going to keep on trucking through it, not to bring down the show in any way, fashion, or form, because when you got a job to do and you love doing it, you just fucking do it, right?
That's right.
All right.
Keep on keeping on.
And I can tell you what, man, I think we're going to have some interesting review here this evening for you and I. It's been a
Yeah.
while. As much as I love sitting down and talking with some of the guests that we get on, believe it or not, those times and everything are a blast, and it's no slight to any of our guests, man, but I really love the meat and potatoes of our show when you and I actually get to exchange albums and review 'em.
Yeah.
That's it's like I said, not to disparage any guest, man, but I love it when you and I swap our, what we've been listening to lately, or something that's, been a major important album to us, back and forth. And I love how we randomly come about this, but really would like to see some more guests throwing out albums to us as well. I know Wes throws a few things your way, and
Hmm.
you in turn me onto those and stuff and whatnot. But I would love to see and hear some suggestions from any of our people out there. Just leave, you can leave them anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can leave them over on Spotify, right here on YouTube and whatnot. So yeah, would love to hear from you guys still. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and you can catch us on all your favorite podcast streaming services. We've been in discussions, Bruce, you and I have, about the possibility of heading over to TikTok in some capacity.
Hmm.
Problem I have had with that, and I just want to kind of share that with everybody. And there's things going on with TikTok, and we don't know if it's going to be moved over to, say, another server, or they're going to create a whole new system for the US, because I think it was recently bought or something. And I don't want to make any moves towards that without knowing that's, where we're going to be permanently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sorry about the delay on that, folks. Um, we're going to get to that as soon as we can, if it seems even viable. I'm having a hard time even keeping up with the Instagram page.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Bruce, I have received numerous phone calls
Mm.
into the IT department, and people are asking, Bruce, how are you?
Look, dude, every day's Christmas. IT people, that's nice that the IT department gives a shit. Now, if we can just get our social media manager on board, maybe she could give a shit. Anyway, no, we're good, man. I really kind of to piggyback on your original thought there about, giving each other albums and stuff. This episode in particular really does shine a light on kind of our personalities and where we're at. I really believe that because this literally is these to me these are two perfect examples of our personalities.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
gonna be
for
fun.
sure. And you know what? Here's the thing. But often our personalities, bear with me. Sorry about that, folks.
What are you doing?
Well, I went to pour a little bit of this bourbon and it's in a handshake bottle. I'll get to explaining that later.
Hmm.
But the problem was when I did this, the a piece of the top, which kind of ensures the seal of the bottle, my bad with the light,
Hmm.
um, fell on the floor and I didn't want to leave it there. So my bad. All right. So yeah, this is one of those episodes where I feel like here we go.
Yeah,
I've given Bruce some of my fave, and Bruce is obviously giving me one of his current fave right now, and we're going to kind of touch base and see where we're at.
yeah.
Um, just another message. I know that we have another guest coming up soon. Uh, we want to schedule with him at some point in time.
Hmm.
Our good buddy from what podcast was he with again?
On the fly.
Yeah, Stevie Fly.
Hmm.
Yeah, looking forward to doing that. I think we're going to be reviewing I believe it was Adultery album he had mentioned.
Hmm.
Yep, and so we'll be in touch with him on that here in the very near future. I think Bruce and I want to get a couple albums reviewed and under our belt before we just keep on trucking, man.
That's right.
I got a good one for you tonight, man. It'll be interesting to see what you say about it next week. So let's
That's
get
right.
into it, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, dude? Or no, you know
Oh,
what? Fuck that. What have you been listening to?
well, my friend, I have been listening to some of the new Super Suckers, a couple singles coming off this new album that's being released this week on Friday.
Okay.
Uh, really cool stuff. Listening to a little bit of White Stripes. Did a little more of a deep dive onto Into the Darkness, some of their previous albums. I was very surprised about how many releases they actually have. To me, it just seems like they just come out a couple years ago. It's been fucking 20 years.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
You and I are going to talk about that. So,
yeah,
no, yeah, you and I are going to talk about that.
yeah. And then, yeah, really, just some odds and end podcast stuff. I will say this. I did want to share this. Me and Rhea cleaned out the garage yesterday, and this is not strictly music related, but it's us related. Uh, Surely you remember this, but I found this. It's the autographed um, movie poster
Duh.
for Carnival of Souls, autographed by the Fritz the Night Owl. Reframed it. The old frame that I had it in was all trashed. So reframed, and it's going to go somewhere nice here in the studio. Don't know exactly where yet, but had to share that because that's been quite a few years since I've actually seen it. So
That's awesome.
yeah, dude.
I was really glad. So when we went to, I took mom one night,
Hmm.
and we actually got our picture taken with Fritz, and
Yep.
that was kind of a big to do for both of us because my mom always let me stay up late on what it was Friday, Saturday night for Chiller Theater,
Hmm.
and Fritz became a household name, man. And that was my purpose to get through the week of school, just to get to the weekend and watch whatever was on Night Out Theater.
Yep.
And
Uh,
there was a point in time earlier in my years that Elvira was on late night as well. I think there was like Fritz the Night Owl was on one night and Elvira would
mhm.
be on the next night.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So good times for old Fritz the Night Owl. Still kicking. Still
Still,
out there doing appearances and uh, bringing joy to the fans. So
he used
Lots
to.
of lo- yeah,
He,
lots of cool stuff on YouTube for that. Check it out, guys.
I think a lot of people remember him with the obviously Chiller Theater, but he also did he also had like the Jazz Hour or something on one of the radio stations there for a
That's
while, didn't he?
right.
So yeah,
WWOSU. He had the jazz station on there. So that's right. I forgot all about that.
yeah.
Well, Tone, what have you been listening to?
Been checking out some of the new singles with Sugabog as it's been getting released. Looking forward to that album drop October 10th. Um, what else? I picked up an EP, I think it was, and two albums, I think here, uh, from Blood Incantation, and was checking those out. Um, I think it was Star Spawn. It was very ambient. I think you and I talked about it before the show. It was a very ambient, cosmic, ethereal feel. There wasn't really, it wasn't, it was much different than the albums I've heard from them. And I explained that. But, more atmospheric. What else I've been listening to? Oh, Fugitive. Listened to a lot of Fugitive this week, which is the side project for the singer and guitar player from Power Trip.
Okay.
I wish they would release a full album as well as another Power Trip album, but it's kind of a hard toss up. Who do I want an album from more, Power Trip or Fugitive? Are you over there falling asleep?
No, I was looking up something.
Looking up what?
Uh, Other things that's coming out for later in the show, Lips.
Okay, I'm getting really tired of you not placing your focus on the show. It's a disrespect and a disservice to our fans. Can you stop with this, man? Pay attention on the show. All right. I have a hard enough time paying attention myself, squirrel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, just a few minutes ago, people were looking at your ass crack
Yeah,
if you subscribe to YouTube.
if you
So,
subscribe to YouTube. Oh,
that's a selling point. What
mm,
what are you drinking? Let's move
mm,
on to that. What are you
mm,
drinking?
mm, 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 mm.
Oh, you're doing it. You started it.
Holy shit. All right. So in the bourbon world, we often trade bottles between each other, especially when people can't find what they are. I think this comes from my good buddy Bill. If you remember me talking about cooking two briskets one time for a
Hmm.
buddy, the same buddy, he's also a bourbon connoisseur. He's actually one that's helped me get a little deeper into the cut and kind of makes me aware of what's going on when if it happens.
Yeah.
So he sent me over this, and I don't know if you can read that too well, but it basically
No.
says mystery meat with question marks on it, and it says travelers travel exclusive. It is 58.4%. So that is 116, almost 117% non-chill filtered. And usually when this guy sends me stuff, it is pretty potent stuff. And I mean, like, I don't know if you can see it on camera here. Let me see if I can get the bottle flipped around. I only poured that much of the bottle, which was about a half a shot.
Yeah.
Usually these are about a shot or two, depending on the size of the bottle. Um, I don't know what this is. I can't tell you what it is. I can just tell you what my friend gave me as a handshake. So it is a bourbon. It could be a bourbon blend. Man, that's got some bite to it. I'll tell you this. It tastes very good, but it's got a bite to it. That is
Dude, it didn't look like it tasted good.
so it's very it's got a really nice mouthfeel. It doesn't have like an oily mouthfeel. It just got a very silky mouthfeel.
Hmm.
Goes down smooth, but it's going to hit you with a burn. I mean, it's not so it's not so burning that it takes my breath away. Really uh, rich flavors of the char from the barrel. Give me a second.
Get you another Get you a little nip.
She's hot, bud. She's she's not the hottest I've had. She's warm. Um, yeah, this is I don't know what it is. Um, I can't even get into. I feel there's a lot of char. Very little maple. Very little maple. Um, I can't find any other notes in it. It's just that like
The note of burn.
it stands out as a little too hot for me. I like the cutoff level for me is usually about 110. I like things at 100, especially bonded bourbons. Bonded bourbons are all are bottled at 100. This burns, man. Um, but it's not bad tasting. It's just it's hot.
All
What are
right.
you
Well,
looking at?
what do you give it?
I give it a 4.
A
I mean that's
four.
I'm gonna ding it a point because it's just too hot for me, man. I'm gonna ding. I'm it's just too hot for me. And what I'll end up doing with that because it's so hot is I'll end up fucking mixing it with lemonade.
There you go.
You know me, dude. So next week it'll be this and lemonade.
See if we can bring that up to a 4.5.
Oh, goodness gracious. This thing is this I'll finish it. I will finish it, but I'm not happy about it. What are you drinking?
All right. Well, this is another Oktoberfest lager brought to us by Black Horse Brewery in Alcoa, Tennessee, just south of Knoxville. And they've got lots of different of brews and stuff. But I'm in the Oktoberfest mood, and so that's what we're doing. 5.51% alcohol. Let's see. How do you say that? Marzen beer? Is it Marzenbier beer? Anyway,
Show me. Show me how it's spelled.
yeah, right. It's Marzenbeer.
Mosambir. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mosambir.
that's what I said.
That's
This
how
is
I pronounce it. I mean,
yeah, classic Marzenbier style lager. Yeast provides crispness, Vienna malt, and some pretty decent hops. Um, Slightly malty biscuit note and hay-like aroma. Hey, because when you're wanting to drink beer, first thing you think, got to get me some of that hay.
yeah.
I don't smell hay.
Okay.
Let's give this another drink. Tastes a little earthy. It's a little earthy. The beer that I had last week uh, was definitely better. This is all right. Like I'll finish this 6 pack, but I'll probably wouldn't have it again.
Yep.
Um, it's a 3.
That's fine.
It's okay.
That's where it lands.
Yeah,
It's drinkable.
it's drinkable.
I wouldn't search it out.
Definitely not. Ah, sweet. Well, my friend, what do you have for news?
I didn't really see anything too much out there. I saw there's a biography coming out on Voivod,
Hmm.
which is a band I really enjoy. I got to see them. I think they were with Death last year, or the tribute to Death, Death to All.
Okay.
I think they were on that tour. They may have been. I could be wrong, but I finally got to see them after a number of years, and I've been a fan since their album Nothing Face, which you'll hear me often say this on the show. Back in the day, we had Buzzard's Nest, and one of the coolest posters
Oh
I
yeah.
thought up there on the wall was the Nothing Face poster from Voivod, and that's how I got turned on to the band. Because remember, imagery back in the day was something
Oh, it's
like
critical.
when you went into go buy a new CD, cassette, whatever, that album cover, if if you didn't know what to buy, or you want to check out something new,
Hmm.
you based a lot on that album cover, flip over the song titles and go, yeah, yeah, that sounds cool. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
That's right.
So
Yeah, my perfect example of that is the cover for Kiss Unmasked looked really fucking cool. And it is the slickest pop rock stuff that you'll probably ever hear. And yeah, I could see how people would be disappointed in it. I like it, most of it. There's a couple shit stains on it, uh but yeah, covers used to suck you in or prevent you from buying the album.
I said, dude, I have such a hard time listening to them anymore, man. After I see like how they act towards each other, it's just I have such a hard time look at them and going, God,
I get it.
I can't believe these guys were everything to me at one point in time, and now I just
Mhm.
see them as shitty people.
Look, they're flawed individuals like all of us, and they're grumpy old men, or at least Paul is. He's a grumpy old man. Let him be. Whatever.
Gene ain't the nicest person at all, dude.
Gene's all right. He
Dude, he's
has his
dude.
moments.
Gene's not very nice to people, dude.
It depends.
Dude, do you see situations, dude? Like him making that dude change his shirt.
Ah,
Come
I
on,
think that's
man.
funny.
That's not funny, dude.
That is
That's being,
funny.
that's him turning on that freaking shit, dude. I used to love that man. You know that.
Uh-huh.
You know that. But I look at him as such a horrible. Look at the things he's done to his wife. His wife is a very beautiful person from what we've seen or what we know.
Yeah.
He has not been good to her, dude. He
I
is not.
think.
He is not a nice person. Have you? So let me ask you this:
Mhm.
being the big Kiss fan that you are,
Yes.
I know that you're perusing the land of TikTok here and there.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you run across the Stanley Simmons sons jamming together?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. They can sing Simon and Garfunkel. Fucking great. I don't care. It's fine, but I want to hear a full album of them? No.
Do you think there's a possibility those two being the sons of the main shareholders?
Mm.
I mean, if they still retain the name,
No, they
because
don't.
so
They sold everything to Pop House.
and that was on and that is with their complete exit from music. Now what about when they have to do a show? Or
They
they decide to step out and they go, okay, we're going to throw a huge show.
Mhm. So, in those situations, depending what the situation is, they are paid employees. So they get paid X amount of dollars to play a show. They don't own the catalog. They don't own the name.
They
They
just come
sold
they come
everything.
out and so of a let's say a show promoter calls them for one of the big festival shows or something and
Hmm.
says,
Hmm.
"Hey, we want to get you guys to headline on this day this year.
Yep.
What do you think their fucking minimum is?"
Oh, well, let me put it this way. When I was booking like our conventions for the old place that I used to work, I just put feelers out. Gene on his own was $275,000 plus airfare and hotel.
So
If
they would easily request $1 million to 2 million. It's anywhere between 1 million and 5 million a show.
I would say a million to two.
1 million to two.
Yeah. Yep. So,
And even as it stands now, they don't even go out and play their instruments and sing.
well, no, they've retired. Now they are putting on this thing in Vegas. Uh,
But will they be actually performing? Because
yeah,
in videos that we've seen as of lately, like Gene stepping away in the middle of War Machine, and
yeah,
he's still singing
yeah. No, there's definitely some sweeteners, as they like to call it.
backing tracks.
Right.
I don't want to pay to go see a band playing the backing tracks, dude.
Well, right now they don't even have a drummer. There's no drummer announced for this show.
Where's Eric Singer?
No one knows. No one knows. Right now they have no drummer.
You know what I think would be dope?
So
Depending on who's still around and who's not, I would love to see a band like Jakey Lee and maybe Eric Singer put together something like a Return to Badlands or something.
I heard that through the grapevine that Badlands was not a good experience for Eric. So I don't know if that would ever happen, but that would be pretty cool.
Was Eric Singer in Badlands?
Yeah, absolutely. He was on the first album. I don't think he was on the second one, Voodoo Highway, but I know he was on the first one. So yeah, and the other
Yeah,
thing,
no shit. Okay.
hmm
So that's no it's funny that I remember that. But dude, Jake's still around. He's
yeah,
still around. They had success.
yeah, but you're not gonna. I don't think it'll ever happen. So especially with Ray Gillen being dead, and then there's a whole bunch of money issues because he wasn't a good dude either. So,
Really?
oh, dude, I'll
Okay.
tell you off the air.
Okay.
That's that one. Ugh,
Yeah.
that's a little gross.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll have to touch base on that. That's crazy, dude.
hmm
That's funny that I made that connection without making that connection because I don't listen to Badlands often, but
But when I
wow.
do,
But when I do,
I
Eric
drink.
Singer's obviously drumming for him.
Yep.
Dude, and you know what's funny, man? I love both those guys. They're both great players.
Oh yeah,
Jake and fucking
Eric.
Eric, dude.
Absolutely, man.
Eric's just he's such a great just a great player, dude. And Jake is a phenomenal player. But I don't know, man. People are saying that Jake's performance out at the Black Sabbath final show, big deal there.
hmm
Maybe he wasn't in such good shape. But you got to remember, dude just got shot. Maybe what, a year or two ago?
Nah, I went due. It was under a year, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
Either which
anyway,
way.
do you have any other news?
Uh,
This whole news thing got strayed all kinds of
yeah,
places.
no kidding. Yeah, our friends Sons of Silver just released a 7 song EP, little live disc, covering some of their favorite songs that they did on this last tour. So check that out. And their people reached back out to us. Maybe we can have them back on. Also, as a reminder, if you haven't done it already, please go check out the documentary Into the Void on Hulu, talking about some of the most interesting people in heavy metal, including um, Wendy O. Williams, who's featured on episode 7. Our buddy Wes was interviewed for that. And then also a whole episode on the lead singer from Death, a few other things. So definitely check that out. Happy birthday to Buddy Rich. Um, he was one of the phenomenal drummers of our era, American jazz drummer. I believe Buddy Rich um, taught Peter Chris and Jerry Nolan from the Dolls how to play drums. Let's see. Marty Stewart. I know you don't know who Marty Stewart is, but former son-in-law to Johnny Cash, and he's got his own great, phenomenal band. He was born today, 1958,
Nice.
and one of my favorite underrated albums by Bob Dylan, Time Out of Mind, was released today in 1997. So that's what I got.
And that will be the news.
Heard.
All right. Well, let's get down to brass tactics here, brother.
Hmm.
What's it going to be? You or me?
You go.
Rock and roll. Bruce, before I get into this album, The Darkness Dreams on Toast, you seem to be our master of ceremonies and understanding a lot about the album
Yes.
and release dates and whatnot. What info do you have for me on this album?
Well, this was released in this year. Let me pull that back up because I just had it. March 28th of this year. Um, yep.
So in the first quarter of the year.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the latest offering from the band The Darkness, and it's Dreams on Toast.
Hmm.
My opening statements on this album are this: great and diverse musicianship, a relevant album, although to me, the styles could seem dated. I don't know that this album's going to reach all the kids out there, considering what I hear kids listening to nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because it's not rap.
Not just because it's not rap, but even if I sit down with my daughter, this is not something I think she's it's on her radar. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
Sella's one of the most in tune music kids that I have. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and she listens to a wide span of stuff as well. However, death metal, doom, and all that stuff is not her thing. But something like this could be, even Jacob. But this is not going to fall in their radar. You know what I mean? And it's a shame because there is some good stuff on here. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Yeah.
Track number one was Rock and Roll Party Cowboy. Uh, I gave this one an A. This is
Yeah.
a solid rocking opener, a great rock anthem feel, man. This got me really excited by the album.
Hmm.
And let me preface this by saying the only thing I can ever remember from The Darkness was that release that broke them big. I remember a thing called Love,
Yeah.
and it did not resonate with me at all at
No.
the time. I was not in remotely interested whatsoever. Okay.
Hmm.
And it was just because of that really high pitched chorus where
His falsetto.
man, that's a little over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, okay, it might have worked for a lot of people, and hell yeah, it may have. So, but for me, it didn't, and that's why the band never resonated with me, and that's why I have very, very little information on this band. But yeah, solid opener. I got excited. I got really excited by hearing that opener. Track number two, I Hate Myself. I gave this one a B.
What?
Said, here's where I see that high vocal works, but it's not so much for me. And, uh, you know, let me say this, it's not a skippable track. Okay. Considering the range that we're going to find across this album, it's not a skippable track.
Mhm.
It's not so bad that I go, ugh, you know, it's mm, just didn't coming off a rock and roll party cowboy and going into that, it didn't quite work for me, dude. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
That's
Okay.
a little bummed out by that.
Hmm.
Track number three, Hot on My Tail. Um, this is a song that has like a country southwestern feel to it.
Hmm.
Um, I gave it a B. It's different than expected, fun, great storytelling, not bad, but to me, it just nothing's catching me like that rock and roll party cowboy. That was such a strong opener, such a strong opener. But once again, not skippable.
Yep.
Strange considering track listing coming in
Hmm.
and we hit the southwestern country feel thing It's not horrible by any means.
Mm-mm.
It's just strange, and we start understanding some of the dynamic that we're going to get into
Yeah.
and and range of music styles that these guys are involved in. And I'm gonna get back to that as well.
Let me ask you something real quick on that. So, again, this is one of my favorite albums of this year.
Okay.
That on Hot on My Tail, do you think what do you think the story is? Do you think his wife poisoned him, or was it somebody came in and was going to kill him?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was wild because like yeah, why'd you do that on our anniversary? And I heard a
So
backpack on some. I don't know.
yeah,
It was wild.
once again, it gets into that great storytelling.
Hmm.
All right. And great lyricists can really, really portray a story. Small example, Kiss.
Hmm.
Let's put the X in sex.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't listen, I mean, it's an example of great storytelling. You can envision what Paul's saying in this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the way
Okay.
down to the until I saw those black lace panties and bam, I knew it was you. You know what I mean? So
Uh,
um it's just the way it is.
mhm.
So with that being said, great storytelling in all of this. Okay. Um Track number 4, Mortal Dread. Okay. We get back to an A. I said back to rocking. Definitely an AC/DC style feel with the
Mhm.
riff on this, and I
Yeah.
loved the keys in this track. So I gave this one a solid A, man. Track number 5, Don't Need Sunshine. Um, this I gave an A plus. It
Mm.
is a ballad feel, deep thought, provoking, yet tongue in cheek. And I love how they pulled that all off, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's very, very, very it's a good jam, dude. This is quite possibly my favorite on the album because of the feel and even though it gets very deep into emotion,
Hmm.
there's that tongue in cheek in it that's just like that's life, man. You
There,
know what I
there's
mean?
a lot of humor in this album for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Track number 6, The Longest Kiss. I gave this one an A as well.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, I said that this one it had a very Beatles feel to it. It was a toe tapper for sure and a very solid track. Now
Now,
you
see,
could,
I kind of put it more towards Queen.
and so, but
That one.
like, what, if I had to go kind of like what the keys were doing and
Hmm.
how they were reminding me, got out of bed, da da da,
Da,
out on my head, da da
da,
da
da,
da.
da,
Yeah, it
da,
kind of
da.
gave me that feel, if that makes
Uh-huh.
sense. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yep.
Um, is there a reason why we keep looking off camera there? Or is
I'm
somebody coming
not.
down
I'm
the room?
literally just moving.
You need to calm down looking in that direction. You make me think somebody's holding you hostage in that room. Blink twice if you're safe. All right. Um, Track number 7, The Battle for Gadget Land. I gave this one a B. It is a rockin' song with a small rap interlude that's in it that was I think that's kind of what saved it because I liked that, I was kind of personally just not really feeling the song and was like, man,
Hmm.
could this one possibly get a C? And then all of a sudden it gets into a rap interlude, and I believe I can't remember what track this was, but I got to say something about that. But yeah, I gave that one a B. It just kind of didn't stand out as much to me. It's not a horrible song, but the little rap thing that went on in there was a really nice addition. Um, and it actually to me kind of really kind of saved the song from hitting a C. Um, One thing I do want to say up to this point is the guitars on this thing are big, man, and
Yeah.
in many different ways. And when those guitars are rocking, that seems to be what I really, really like about this album. I really like the fact that there's all kind of different instrumentalists doing different things in this thing, and there's definitely key players throughout the whole thing. None of these guys are not, I don't see any of these guys being bad musicians by any means. They
Yeah.
all are very competent, strong musicians. You know what I mean? So they're making good stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I want to get to that. Um, Track number 8, Cold Hearted Woman. I gave this one a B as well. It's another Western, Southwestern country feel thing. I love the guitar, but it's still just not a standout track to me. And it's like, to me, listening to both these country Southwestern feel things in here, they feel the most disjointed from the album. However, I could see these guys taking these songs and doing an album in that Southwest country feel and having some success off of it, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Because what they're making is good, but if they focused on that type of album, in my opinion, I think they'd kill it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because of the musicianship I'm hearing on this album. Um, so track number 9, Walking Through Fire. I gave this one an A plus. This is a banger of it's just a banger of a track, dude. It's and the high vocals actually work on this track for me. That's one of my big issues with the darkness was that like you said falsetto or that very high
Hmm.
pitched vocal. Um it doesn't always work for me, and on this track it really did, and it was really so it felt good to be able to give this an A plus considering where I sat coming into this and how I felt about that vocal.
Hmm.
So solid track. Uh, Track number 10, Weekend in Rome. Um, I gave this one a B. It is very dreamy style ballad. It's a cool closer. Starts soft and builds to a cool crescendo. Uh, Not the closer I was looking for. Um, when I look back at this album, I have a lot of mixed emotions about it, just due to the fact that it started off so strong. That rock and roll party cowboy was so good. But as I get through the albums before I get to, I go through a couple tracks before I get to an A, and then I hit a sweet spot of an A plus and an A, and then I hit some some B's and a B at the end. It's just like it's a good album, and I can totally understand why you dig it. I truly do understand why you dig it. It's a
Hmm.
very diverse album. The very wonderful musicians on this album. I will not take that away whatsoever. There is a line that is absolutely one of the best lines I've heard in music on this album, and it is very relevant to the world of music today. I can't remember the track. I want to say it was either Walking Through Fire or The Battle for Gadgetland. But the line says, we've never stopped making hit albums. It just it's just that no one buys them anymore.
Yeah, that's walking through fire.
And let me tell you something. That line is probably why I gave that track an A plus.
Hmm.
What a what an amazing freaking line.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That whole song is a love letter to the music. And it's like, yeah, not even my mom bought the last album. And it's like, we do this because we love this.
Yeah,
And it's for any musician, I'm like, if that doesn't fucking hit you, I don't
that
know what
is,
does.
dude. It's that is one of the most relevant lines in any form of music today.
Hmm.
And I would just like to thank those guys for sticking it out there.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong about that line.
Yep.
Think about all the bands that we listened to over the years, and we have to go back and check out the catalog and go, man, we've missed all this stuff,
Yeah.
you know. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you for giving me the album.
Hmm.
But as I look at this, and I've got 10 tracks, I've got a couple A pluses, but I've got one, two, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bs. I really, really wanted to like these guys more because some of the stuff on here was really, really good. But for me, do I find myself putting this into my rotation? Absolutely not.
I think you need to give it. I think you need to give it a little more time. That's what I think.
I I could, but the truth of the matter is I don't see it in my daily rotation. I
Mm.
don't see it in a monthly rotation because I've probably already got a jaded feeling towards this band and the way that they were introduced to me. You know what I mean? You know,
And let me just say this. So I went back and I listened to a lot of the Darkness albums that I hadn't listened to because, to your point, yeah, that I believe in a thing called love. La 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 la. Yeah, that was annoying. It was so that whole album, that first album, Permission to Land, was so over the top with falsetto, and that first album's terrible in my opinion, and that's like their biggest selling album. This album really does, to me, have the perfect blend. It's got enough of Justin's falsetto. There's a good blend on it, and they've really grown as musicians throughout throughout these years. Again, they've been at it for over 20 years, and the age and maturity and really shows on this album.
I don't doubt that for a second, man. I'm not.
Yeah.
Listen, this was more. This was more accessible to me than per se Permission to Land. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, is it a bad album? No. Is it a great album to me? No.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I think it's a solid album. It's just not my cup of tea. And this is where we have that bit of a, we
Hmm.
have to give it our understanding. I wanted so much this album to be an 8. I really wanted this album to be an 8. And if it's an 8, I'll go check out the library.
Yeah.
You know that. I've told you that. I've done it 1,000 times. I can't quite give it an 8, man. Not with that many B's to me, and knowing that it's just not going to fit in my rotation. But once again, it's not a bad album.
Hmm.
And to be honest with you, my rating, after looking at, I come up with my rating and then I take a look at what it's rated over there on Wikipedia or whatever. My rating's a little better than some. So I'm going to give this thing a solid 7.75.
Okay.
Not a bad listen. If the darkness is your thing, check this new album out. You might dig it a bit more than I do. You might dig it as much as Bruce does. Bruce thinks this is one of the best albums of this past year.
Yep.
It'll probably come up in his top 5 for the year.
Yes. And
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, this is the best Darkness album of their discography. I've
Good.
listened to it.
Good. And take it from Bruce. Bruce is going to know a little bit more about this than I am. But I will say thank you for giving it to me. It was
Yeah.
not a hard listen. It was
No.
not. It was not. It was. For me, it's a cool album. If I hear somebody spinning this, I'm not going to say, "Hey, turn that shit off." You know what I'm saying? But it's solid. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, man, the guitars on this are big, dude. The guitars are so big on this.
Hmm.
So that being said, once again a solid 7.75 on the Darkness Dreams on Toast.
There you go. All right, my friend. Well, you gave me death metal extraordinaire Jungle Rot. I believe this was their ninth album, self-titled Jungle Rot, released July 20th, 2018. It's 10 songs, about 38 minutes. Had two singles off of it, A Burning Cinder and Fearmonger. Of those two songs, which ones are your favorite? Which one is your favorite of those two songs?
A Burning Cinder.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with Fearmonger. A Burning Cinder. I think it's very relevant to today.
Okay. Um, this album has elements of old school thrash. It's obviously a lot of death metal, a little hint of punk in this as well. So definitely in some of the riffs, and some of the lead guitar work, they're definitely paying homage to some of the people that have come before. So let's see. First song is "Send Forth Oblivion." So help me remember, did you just post this song or was Burning Cinder?
A Burning Cinder is what I posted.
Okay. So, quite a few of these songs have political overtones to them. I mean,
Right.
just flat out.
Well,
And
if
again,
let me preface this by saying jungle rot is a disease that guys got in the jungle that ate up their feet and legs
mm,
in the military. Okay. That's what that kind of refers to. So
mm,
when they speak of a lot of military stuff,
mm,
that's kind of, military and dead and dying and stuff. That's kind of their jit, their
yeah,
their niche. You know what I'm saying?
yep, yep. Let's see. Let's see. I put in here nice old school thrash feel. Pretty decent opener. Then he had to open his mouth. I hate the vocals, but I've heard worse. The lyrics in this are pretty cool. Definitely a political bend to it. Let me read a couple of the lyrics in here. Um, this can't be what man envisioned. How have we come to this? We've fashioned a world of gluttony where goodwill just doesn't exist. That's the opening line right there. And again, luckily, I was able to get onto Encyclopedia Metallum for these lyrics here because while you can understand some lyrics, this is definitely his vocal delivery is definitely better than some of the other stuff. Um,
In the death metal category, it's
yes,
a little more accessible. That's why I gave it to you.
yeah, but yeah, but we'll get to it. But the lyrical content in this is like, yeah, man, like we're all fighting against each other. It's not good. It's not good. And again, this is from 2018, so.
Yeah.
So I gave it out a B. You know, just okay.
I know the vocal thing in death metal is going to be the hard thing for you to get past. But
Yep.
one of the big reasons I gave you this jungle rot thing is Dave Matrice's vocal. You can hear even if death metal is your thing, you can piece words that's coming out of his mouth and understand what's being said enough to go, hold on, let me go take a look at those lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep. Next up was Stay Dead. I gave this an A actually. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the opening guitars are really cool. They kind of wind into the song. They wind into the riff. Definitely seems like this would be a good old school Slayer song.
Yeah.
This would definitely fit into the Slayer category. Um, and quite frankly, everyone needs a good zombie song. It's all about zombies. This probably should have been a single over the other ones that they chose. And it's a really simple guitar solo. There's nothing like fancy about it. It's just straightforward. Um, but yeah, I dug this. I dug this song. Probably one.
That is one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Yeah, it's probably a standout for me on that one. Next up is Delusional Denial. I gave this a C. It's a nice intro riff. Vocals are hideous. The lyrics aren't very great either. Absolute skippable song to me. Um, I will say that the speed was good, and there's a good breakdown about the 2 minute 30 second mark. But I don't get it. I did not like this song at all.
But you liked it
Now
enough to give it a C.
a C,
Okay.
but because the musicianship's there, but it's just not a good song. So I can't give it an F. I mean,
Right.
it's just not good. Um, so I will preface this. So we're 3 songs in. I've listened to this album probably four or 5 times now, and each time I got to do it in little chunks. This shit is it's a bit much. It it's wearing. It's so wearing. And it doesn't matter what situation I'm in, whether I was in the working in the yard or driving, it didn't matter. It's like, God, dude. Like about every three songs, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I gotta listen to something happy. I gotta listen to something not not this.
You know what's funny, man?
Uh,
Is I can imagine you sitting there driving or listening to that, and you go, "How in the hell does Tony listen to this for
again,
hours?"
so again, this goes into our personalities. You
Yeah,
can listen to this shit all day.
yeah.
I I don't get it. Let's see. Next up, Glory for the Fallen. Um, I wonder, do you have any kind of backstory of like who he was talking about, or is there a group of people he was talking about on this?
I do not.
Okay. Um, so one of the opening lines, life was your goal, a gallant soul to be among, hero unsung, but your life was taken so very young. Um, so it's like, is he talking about soldiers? Is he talking about somebody personal? I don't know. Um, I ultimately I gave the song a B. I like the lyrics. The lyrics are really good in this. Um, it's definitely it's more of like a in remembrance song, but the vocals again just not good.
Right.
There's a nice double solo about a minute in where they're harmonizing with each other. There's a blistering solo in the middle, and the actual solo on there might be the best solo on the album. All in all, though, I gave it a B. It, you know, I'm not going to listen to it a whole bunch, but
Right.
I really like the lyrics. Next up, Burning Cinder. I gave this a B as well.
Oh, that's crazy
Yeah, good lyrics. I can see why you posted it. Uh, Too bad not many people can understand it.
because of the vocal. I get it.
Yep, it's a good anti-government and social song, anti-social song. Music solid. It, the words, the lyrics are missing out on this guy.
Yeah, but to this music, to this style of music, what would you rather vocally?
Uh,
What could you vocally put to that that would sound appropriate to that form of music?
a creator, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, go ahead.
The,
Go ahead. Come on, smartass.
come on, saying. Pump full of lead.
Oh, that's
Uh,
another good one.
Fuck, you're crazy. Skippable. Absolute C. Skippable for me. The fatigue started setting in. Again, at this point, it's pretty short lyrically song. It, it's just I don't like it. I just didn't like it. Um, I see the look that's on your face, bulging eyes. You're almost dead. With no remorse, I leave you to lie, pump full of lead. Um, I don't know, man. I I just didn't like. I didn't like it,
Okay.
especially with everything going on. I just didn't like it. And then that turns over right over to Triggered.
Another good one. Another
Yeah,
banger. That's a banger to me.
yeah. This song had a rainbow, Dio's Rainbow in the Dark vibe to it. Like, that just a vibe, just a little hint of it.
Yeah.
It's very dark content. Again, especially with everything going on. Um, let's see. There's only so much one can take before his mental health will break. Push to the point of no return. Your principles, not my concern. Thrill the kill, desire fulfilled, trigger to violence.
Trigger to
I,
violence.
I don't like it. I, I, you know, I,
It's
it's
the
a good
world,
song.
dude. It's the
I
fucking
know.
world, dude.
I don't like it.
I don't
I
like
don't
it
like
either.
it. Yeah.
And then
I gave it a B. I mean, it's a good song, but man, I don't like the content in it.
I get it.
Ugh.
It's too real.
Yeah, well, it's not too real. It's a piece of it, but
Yeah.
I just don't like it. Twisted Mind. I gave this a B. It's a cool riff, but I'm really not digging the vocals. I've taken several breaks in between songs at this point.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. See anything? Let me see if there's any little standouts in here. Uh, okay. Pupils dilate, rapid heart rate, murderous craving, psychotic urge. Billions of humans are ripe for a purge. Dude, go
Dude,
get
it's
some go get
it's
some fucking sunshine in your life.
it's death metal, dude.
Ugh,
You know where these dudes are based out of?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Ugh, that's probably why. Too damn cold and snowy up there. Ugh, okay. What did I give it? I gave that a B. Fearmonger is next. This is the second single that came off of that. It's another political statement. I don't know who did the other vocals with him on this, but it sounded like Cobra Commander is singing with him, and it's actually a nice change up.
Yeah.
It's a solid guitar solo in this. I actually gave it a B plus. I think that's the lead singer from Creator.
It
I
could be.
think, but I wasn't able to get any more information on that. But
What's the track?
Fearmonger. Yeah, I like the lyrics. I spew only untruth, my tongue a poison dart, spreading propaganda to tear you all apart.
Destruction's vocalist is a
Destruction. Okay.
yeah. So a singer from Destruction. What's it
Okay.
say here? Jungle Rot teams up with Destruction's vocalist for Fearmonger, and
Okay.
that was. Give me a second. Marcel Schmier or Scheimer.
Okay.
I may be saying that wrong. My apologies if I were.
No
Yeah, good track.
worries.
It's a good track.
Yeah. And then last, Terrible Certainty. This is a Creator cover. Nice drum and bass intro, smooth riff. I was actually interested in listening to the original version. And I did listen to the original version. And yeah, it's got a little wear on it from a production standpoint, but the song stands out really well. It's just in general, it's a really good song. Good thrash song. I gave it an A.
Okay.
I gave Terrible Certainty an A. So,
It's a killer jam.
yeah,
I love hearing it when it comes up on the player.
yep.
And
It's
and listen, I know the dangerous game I'm playing with you right now.
mhm.
I enjoy playing this dangerous game because I'm showing you that, while you may not enjoy that vocal, some of those riffs and shit and them drums can't be denied, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't make a good song. It
Yeah,
makes
but
it doesn't make a song to where I'm like, oh, I'm hooked.
but see, that's where we differ though.
Hmm.
I grew up listening to brutal death metal and while my brother listens to more black metal, which is not my thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I listen to some of it, but it's not really my thing.
yeah.
Uh, Death metal, it's kind of my thing, man. I grew up watching horror movies and
So did I.
yeah,
But no, like I'll just kind of say this again. Like this is all about the dark stuff and just like anger and just where the Dreams on Toast album, there's a lot of songs about, love loss and, you know, shit like that, but there's a sense of humor with it. There is no sense of humor in this uh
Jungle Rot
Jungle
album.
Rot. Yeah, there's no sense of humor in this.
I can respect that.
So again, I think that really says something about
But
us.
dude, here's the thing.
Mm,
Before we get into all that, what are you giving the album?
7. That's a max I can give it.
That's a good.
Again, I had to take several breaks, and I
But this is also not your style of music in any way, fashion, or form.
correct.
Okay. But you knew going into this season, you were going to take a thrash, death metal slash,
I'm okay with thrash. Thrash is fine, but
oh,
this could.
there's, we're going to get into that. We're going to get it, dude. I think, listen, while I'm going to give you albums like this, you're going to hear other death metal bands. You're going to hear Obituary. You're going to hear Cannibal Corpse. You're going to hear 6 Feet Under. You're going to hear Sanguisugabog. You're going to hear these bands as long as we continue to do a show. But I can't beat you over the head with them.
Thank
However,
God.
however, I think that you will find tonight's album that I give you to be a little more
Was that the best? Was that the best that you've got to offer me?
from Jungle Rot.
No, from this genre.
Will I say it's the best album? I can't say that, but I can tell you in my opinion, they're my favorite death metal band.
So you're saying it's all downhill from here?
Not really, because there's other good dude, I like if I had to tell you my favorite death metal bands, if I give you my top five, it's gonna be
Hmm.
Jungle Rot, Obituary, Cannibal Corpse,
Hmm.
um, 6 Feet Under, because I love
Hmm.
Chris Barnes, man, and I even love Cannibal Corpse with George Corpse Grinder Fisher, and fucking who would be the fifth? Right now, I'd have to say currently Singer Sugabog, just because they are really putting out some really cool albums. Um, I'm going to be doing a deep dive on Morbid Angel. I need to go back and revisit those guys. I know they were considered one of the big four. Um, you know what? I'd be amiss to not put Death in there because I don't know, man. There's just some really good stuff out there. Like there's about 6 or 7 bands I listen to when I'm listening to death metal
Yeah.
currently, and it's those bands mentioned, Blood Incantation, who I turned Chuck onto. He
Hmm.
actually listed one of their albums as his top 3 or 5 for the year when we got together, and that was Absolute Elsewhere, which that's why I really dig those guys. They're really technical. They're really good. And yeah, it may not be for everybody, but that's the musicianship is a major part of it. The vocals, while being a big part of it, you know, I think for the style of music, sometimes they fit, and I can understand how that harsh vocal work and not being able to understand what's being said can get under somebody's skin like you. Like my wife don't dig it either. You know what I mean? But once again, you're talking to somebody who found rock and roll, did the hair metal thing, found Danzig, cruised out of Danzig into Metallica, Slayer, and all that other good stuff. Cruised out of that into Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, you know, Stormtroopers of Death. I know I've dumped that on you when we were younger. You know,
Yeah.
nuclear assault, napalm death, and shit like that. I've been listening to these bands for a number of years, and while some people don't dig what's going on there, I would go back in and really kind of discover a lot of punk. Um, Come back out of that and spend obviously here in the last few years a big diver in doom and finding that doom is home for me musically. Um, but death metal's been a big thing to me, man. Death metal's probably been as big a thing to me as bluegrass and country's been to you,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So um where you get into that chicken picking, and I dig some of that chicken picking too. I get into them blast beats and the you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, my friend, having said all that, what are you giving me for next week?
I had a hard time with this one, but I knew the band I was going to give you, but I had a hard time on the album. Do I give you the album that broke when I think we were actually in high school, or kind of midway through high school, which would be The Art of Rebellion? That'd be kind of easy to do. The production on that was so clean, and all the tracks are fucking bangers in my opinion for being this band.
Hmm.
However, looking at the ratings on that one, I think it'd kind of be unfair to hand that to you, considering that if you gave it anything less than that, I probably wouldn't welcome you back in the home. So I have to give you the album before that. And the ironic thing about that album is it was released on my birthday in 1990.
Hmm.
I give to you for next week's episode Suicidal Tendencies, Lights, Camera, Revolution.
Okay. Lights, camera, revolution. All right, my friend.
Another band that's actually tattooed on me.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I don't miss anything from those guys.
Hmm.
And you want to know what's crazy about it? When I went to pick up my concert shirt at um, Sonic Temple, I think we were first in, got in there, got to the line first day, and I could count on Suicidal Tendencies to have a shirt in my size. And sure as fuck they did.
Yeah. Well, give me a second. I'm gonna save this one. If this suicidal tendencies turns out to be a turd, I'm gonna give you one that's an hour and 19 or an hour and 9 minutes. But I'm not doing that this time. My friend, I'm going to give you. Let me find it again.
There ain't no suicidal album that's a turd. Come on. What kind of shit are you talking? Are you telling me
We'll
you've listened to Suicidal and you don't dig what they're putting down?
we'll find out. Uh,
On next
I'm
week's episode of Hooked on
next
Science.
week's. That's right. Uh, I just recently got turned on to these dudes. They've been around forever, and
Okay.
they've just never been on my radar until I heard their latest album that I'm going to give you.
Okay.
It's by The Hives, and the album is called The Hives Forever. Forever The Hives. This also might be in the running for one of my top albums of 2025.
All right. I believe I've heard of that band. They had a hit. I want to say, what was that hit? Didn't they have a major radio hit?
I think they did, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
Interesting. We'll have to figure that out for next week's episode.
That's right. Salute.
What
Smooth as silk, baby.
you mean? Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a blast, dude. We are well over 100 episodes. You and I've been doing this for a while, man, and I really enjoy doing it. And I'll continue to do it as long as we want to continue to do it, man. I
Mm-hmm.
love sharing these albums with you. If you're out there listening, you're out there watching, thank you guys for any support that you give to the show. Even if you stop on and drop and watch 10 minutes of it, even if you stop in and just check out to see what we gave the album, what albums we were doing. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for tuning in and hanging out with us, man. We really do appreciate it. Bruce, got anything else you want to say in regards to tonight's episode?
Yeah. Again, I think this is a psychologist's dream, is learning the inner workings of each of us. I think. Uh, but that's why we do it. We do it for you. We bare our souls to every one of you. And you can show your appreciation by commenting on our episodes. You can do that on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts.
Indeed, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bruce, once again, it's been a blast, man, and I'll look forward to next week's episode. Kind of interested. I don't think you and I have ever really sat down and talked about suicidal tendencies, so that'll be interesting. This album, The Hives Forever, Forever the Hives, gives me the hives. So let's get into it, and I will see you next week, man.
All right.
I'm Tone.
I'm Bruce.
We're hooked on Sonics. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.